Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is November 22nd, 2021, Monday at 8 o'clock. And I'm in the middle of something and I had to drop everything I was doing to address this. So my guys tell me there's a whole lot of conversations going back and forth about again forcing me to Texas against my will. We've got jobs in Houston for her. We've got a house. We've got she can finish her college here. Blah blah blah. And I've already said no to that, and it's not up to you. It is unbelievable that these conversations are happening between people I don't even know. I said no to that. I said no. What you're to do is leave me the fuck alone. So, again, I'm going to point out what's already been pointed out, and this is a repeat. That's very concerning that you all need the same thing said over and over and over and over, and you're just not getting it. It's very irritating. Like I said, I've worked with surgeons all my life. I grew up in the home of an elected official and the police chief. I'm right now working with 40 police officers that you can't figure out who they are. Listen, anytime there's a need to know, and especially when there's already been a murder of a police officer and we know you did it, doesn't matter what you kept me from that jury for a reason. You kept me from testifying for Michael Nealey for a reason. Wasn't because you're innocent. Wasn't because you had nothing to do with that murder. And we all know that. And I've said repeatedly, we will be getting Michael Nealey out of jail. It's not up to you. When we get what you just said, like whatever conversations are going on about we're going to get her to Houston, I said no. And if I know about that beforehand and the information I'm getting is correct and I'm saying no to you, then you're not getting it. When I say I'm going to get Michael Nealey out of jail, that's what we're going to do. And we know you did that murder. What planet do you have to live on at this point that you're not getting it? What planet do you live on? To ask me 1 minute, who is telling on us and who are they telling? Who got me the Fabian puzzle in jail? How did you know Mike Nealey was drugged before it hit the docket? It wasn't even in depositions yet. How did you know? Who told you? Who told on us? How can you ask me those questions and think for 1 minute that I could do that by myself? How could you not realize you got somebody on you helping me? They're kicking you off me, Perry. I don't like you. I really can't stand you. You're an absolute disgust, pathetic nobody to me. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not attracted to you. Not even a little bit. I moved twice to get away from you. I can't stand you. I think that you're a monster. I think that you're a sadistic, antisocial monster that I want nothing to do with. And these conversations where everybody's trying to figure out what to get me to do next. How can we force her to do this? How can we force her to do that? We got to get her to roll over and take the yellow brick road and give it up on these guys, whoever they are. You're going to make a bunch of phone calls and you're not going to get any information. And I've said that before. You're going to make a bunch of phone calls. We've heard them. Would you guys make a bunch of phone calls Saturday? Is it you? If you hear anything, we'll give you money if you'll tell us who this is. It's a need to know for a reason. And you don't need to know. You don't need to know anything. I mean, I don't. I'm going to tell you something. There, you guys with you're irritating the shit out of everybody. I worked with surgeons. I worked with elected officials. I'm working with 40 cops right now. They're doing a hell of a job telling me what you just said. You don't know how they got that information and got it from you and gave it to me, right? You have no idea. You're making all these phone calls trying to find who is it, who is it, who is it. Nobody's telling you shit. So I don't have any patience for people that have to be told the same thing over and over and over and over. I have no patience for that. I don't even get it. Like this is a profound photo right here. Look at it. It's not my lie. It's your lie. You need the lie. I don't. You've got a sex weirdo problem. You need it covered up. I don't. I don't have that problem. Why don't you go be a law-abiding citizen? Go be normal. Then you don't have to worry about how can we make her lie? How can we make her roll over? We've got the yellow brick road. Let me tell you something. Everybody knows you're going to kill me. You want to entice, which is illegal, by the way. That's called coercion. It violates racketeering laws. RICO Act, Title 18 of the United States Code 1512. 1513. You're breaking the law. That you would even sit around and have these conversations behind my back with other people I don't even know. Here's what we've got for her if she'll lie. If she'll take the yellow brick road and roll over. I'm quoting you, aren't I? It's your lie. I don't need the lie. You do. No one gives a fuck, by the way. Charles, you're a pathetic nothing. I matter. You don't matter. That's why I have help you can't find. I have that kind of help that you don't know how to get to it. First time in your life that's happened. And I'll tell you what, not one of us needs anything at all said more than once. So, this is a repeat because I've got documented from last year when you guys were having these same conversations. How can we get her out of Oklahoma and it back into Texas? We'll give her a house. We'll give her an expense account. We'll take her shopping. We'll give her all this stuff. And it is bullshit. You're going to kill me. And we all know that. And it'll be an allergic reaction or it'll be a carbon monoxide poisoning in a garage. Charles wants me to have a garage, he says. Yeah, I bet you do. I'm sure you would love for me to have a garage. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I was born yesterday? I've been the one helping to catch your crime like nobody else has. You need to remember who it is you're talking to, Charles. When you start, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? Why don't you do what everybody else can do and go away and mind your own business? You're not going to kill me. You know, you'll explain it away as, oh, she had an allergic reaction to something, or oh, she got upset, she got depressed and overdosed on something. Yep, I'm perfectly happy until I have to be forced into something I don't want to do, and then I want to commit suicide all of a sudden. Is that how you're going to explain that to the public when I end up dead? You're going to kill me. I'll be dead in a week. All this stuff that you call up here and tell people, if we'll do this for her, and we'll do that for her. If she'll lie, bribe her, threaten her, bribe her, threaten her, bribe her, threaten her. RICO Act violation after RICO Act violation after RICO Act violation. That's just bullshit. Because I was in jail and I was asked then to lie. And then I said, no, I'm not going to lie. I'll say nothing, but I have one demand. Perry never contacts me again, ever. And then out of that was birthed the bond conditions. Everybody's heard of it. Everybody's heard of the fucking bond conditions. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This guy is an elected official in Texas, right? Charles, these guys were powerful enough to do two things for me with this puzzle. One, listen to me and understand the words I said after I said it only one time. I don't want Charles. He's a butt-in. I want Fabian. Charles causes fear and anxiety and stress. I'm not living with that. Torments, tortures, and starves women. That's not the kind of life I want or deserve. I deserve a lot better than that. Fabian makes me hope. And then that's the first part, Charles. First, they listened. And I only had to say it one time. The second part of that was getting that to me in jail when you had me illegally incarcerated to intimidate me. That was a violation of Title 18, 1513, and 1512. All of this stuff is on the court docket. Anyone in law enforcement from anywhere can look at it and see it. So if they suspect you guys, any of you guys, in some kind of crime in their jurisdiction, they can look that up and see it. Oh my God, look at this. This chick is kicking some criminal ass right here in a civil suit. She's getting them on fraud too, by the way. Okay, so it's not a matter that they just slam some puzzle to me at any kind of random time in my life. They got that to me at the worst time you caused. And they first listened to the words I said, and I only said it one time. You're slow. It's irritating us. So, the bond conditions, gosh, I have them somewhere here. Right here. This right here, Mr. Perry, was your promise. I'll never contact her again. So what you did in that false arrest that I just talked about, where I'm in jail and I got that puzzle, is first you threatened death and false arrest. Then you tried to kill me. Then I reported to Tulsa police. You knew. By law, I had to do that. Because when you're going to get a protective order, you have to file a police report. And you knew my first protective order was denied because I didn't have the police report. You knew it. You went into court and you claimed I'm a victim of a political vendetta. And because of the political vendetta, she's filed a false report. But what you did is you did it in a week. I hadn't even talked to a detective yet. I didn't get tested. You caused the loss of my evidence to prove you tried to kill me. Destruction of evidence is also a RICO violation, by the way. So is perjury. And then you contradicted every claim you made in Texas. I didn't live in Texas. I'd been gone from Texas for over a year, about a year and a half, 2 years. And so you obstructed justice. That's RICO violation. Interfered with the chain of custody of evidence. Where's the video from Lady Godiva's? Nobody even bothered to try to preserve that. The text I preserved. Yes, I gave you arsenic and phenobarbital. Let your life fade away, he says. I can't promise the stalking will end without death and destruction. That sounds like a death threat to me. And then you got, so what I said is, when they wanted me to lie, we realized we made a terrible mistake. Oh, you think? Well, we just need you to, if you could just lie. No, I'm not going to lie. So I'll just stay quiet if Mr. Perry never contacts me again. He's a state, he had to agree to this. They're not gonna just put his name in my bond conditions, agreeing to leave me alone and never have anything to do with me again. By the way, I'm under duress when this was signed. So by law in Oklahoma, any contract made, any agreement made with another person while you're incarcerated, says specifically the law, you're not held to it. But you weren't, Charles. And I did file a breach of contract. And you guys made a phone call to Judge Egan, Mr. Powell. I heard it was you. And asked her to find a way to dismiss it. So she dismisses it on res judicata. But guess what? Whether or not this is a binding contract on Charles Perry, still has not been ruled upon by any judge at all, because you did that. So this expressed my wishes right here, and you promised never to contact me again. And you can continue to go at me and go at me and go at me and go at me and go at me, because really, you deceived this court too. See, you deceived the court when you said, there's a false police report, and it's over a political vendetta. There's nothing political ever anywhere. I'm pissed. I rant at you. I'll rant the fuck out of you. I'll tell you exactly what I think. I don't give a shit who you think you are. And I've always been that way all my life. So, I'm very bold. I was raised in the home of power. My family was the power in the town where I grew up. So, imagine my mindset is a whole lot different than yours. Mr. Weirdo. It's a whole lot different than yours, because I'm raised with a whole different way of thinking and doing things than most people would be. If you're not raised in that, your granddad's not the chief and he's not an elected official. Everything was different for us. Everything was different in the way that we thought, the way that we were groomed, the way that we thought, we're taught to believe and act and conduct ourselves. And it's not just an elected official, but law enforcement. And the head of law enforcement in the town where I grew up. So first you go in and you deceive the court and you say, no, there's a false police report has been filed, and it's over a political vendetta, when you knew good and well that was bullshit. You knew absolutely that was not true at all. So you lied. You deceived the court, and you did it intentionally. And we've got that all right here. Right here. This was the first denied protective order. Number 2 is I was non-compliant with Title 22. That's this right here. Well, if you're getting threatened with death and false arrest, you absolutely need a protective order, don't you? Right, okay. So I'm telling, in October, my ex-husband, he's trying to do a false arrest. He wants me arrested. I'm telling the U.S. attorney the same thing. Long before you did it, right here, letter to the U.S. attorney. He's using cops to harass me, because 2 of them didn't want to do it, and they came and told me. They got that on August 2015. We've been over this at length. So I filed the police report in compliance with the law on the 21st, and then you have me charged on the 29th and arrested. Here's the charges right here. That I'm retaliating against his job as a senator. I think you're unclear as what your duties are legislatively, sir. Doesn't surprise me. You're not all there. This was the callback on the 15th. Is that not obstruction of justice? I haven't even got a call back yet. So the text in I was buying charcoal because you were poisoning me at my work. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, we've been over this. This is the whole crime report right here, the whole police report. Nothing at all in my text between Dave and I about this is my shrink. You escalated a stalking thing. Yeah, because you guys needed me to lie, and I wouldn't lie. So, oh gosh, let's find a shrink to say she's crazy. These are the, you know, that's dated the 4th. My arrest was on the 29th. The police report wasn't even filed till the 21st. Yep, okay, that's not fishy. That's not fishy at all. The text to Dave right here. Yeah, he says, I'm giving you poison. It's back. It's up here. You can see it better right here. Arsenic and phenobarbital. I caught you. Yes, he says. Okay. So, Mr. Perry keeps thinking that we want to hear what he has to think. Yeah. Listen, Mr. Perry, I'm a part of the team that for the first time in your life is catching you in your crime. I promise you, we do not care what you think at all. Didn't ask you either, did we? Nobody asked you what you think. These are about Fabian, personal relationship. See here? I'm not going to promise anything. And death and destruction is just part of what happens. Yeah. Let your life fade away. And I'm like, huh? What is that supposed to mean? Let your life fade away. Like, who the fuck says shit like that? Okay, so it's like a, and I'm saying here in 2014, I just want to be left alone. So, Mr. Perry, you got these bond conditions here. By the way, my charges were dismissed a year and a half later. While they're trying to find some other way to, force me into something I didn't want to do. Okay, so Mr. Perry, his name is here. He shouldn't have any contact. He contradicted the first lie with the second lie. I'll leave her alone. I won't. You have to admit that you're doing something to agree to stop doing it, don't you? That's what this is. Remember, I'm under duress. I'm told you have to sign these or you're not going home. So I did. Okay, so, but I demanded, I'm not lying, but I will just stay quiet if Mr. Perry never contacts me again. You broke this promise. So, after this, Mr. Perry, nothing you say, you've lied in court twice now, and you didn't keep this promise. So, when you go around telling everybody, if we can just get her to Houston, we'll do this for her, and we'll do that for her, and here's the yellow brick road. We don't believe you, because you've lied so much now. We don't believe a word you say. You will kill me dead. And I know that, and my 40 guys know that. I've heard the recordings of you talking about trying to kill me. I've heard you planning a specific way to kill me. We'll make it look like an allergic reaction. We'll fake up a medical emergency at her work. She'll help. Then we'll tell her the guy that she helped had a virus or something. She has to have a shot, or she'll die. Only when she takes the shot, that's what's going to kill her. It's strychnine in there. Kill her dead. We'll tell everybody it was an unfortunate allergic reaction. Believe me, nobody believes a word you say at this point. I know that you don't know that. There's a lot of things that people have said to you, and you're not getting it. You're very slow. It's very irritating. And there's been things repeated to you over and over and over and over, and you're just not getting it. You're not. And nobody knows what to do about that. What's wrong with somebody that you have to say the same thing that many times, and he's not getting it? You asked me. I'm going to say this again. I'm not going to Houston. I'm not going to Texas. I'm staying right where I am. You're getting the fuck out of my life. It's not up to you where I live and where I work and what I do. Stop calling up here and trying to act like you're going to do something nice for me. You're not. You're enticing so that I'll go willingly to my death, and I'm not going to go anywhere with you. I've been a part of the power team, catching your crime like it's never been caught in your life. That you have got to pay attention to, and you're not. That you are not getting. You asked me who told, and who is it helping me. You've asked me if it's Canada, and what was my response? I'm not told that. If you told, I'm sorry, that's not correct. I'm not told who the leaks are. You think it's Canada? Call Canada, ask them if it's them, and tell them to stop stopping your crime. If you think Canada is involved, if you think Canada's helping us, do you think, if you think that, Mr. Perry, call Canada, ask them if it's them, and tell them to stop stopping your crime and see where that gets you. Don't ask me who told and who's helping me and then act like nobody's there. And that's what you're doing. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. Nobody understands what in the world's wrong with you. I'm not going anywhere with you. I'm not going to take your yellow brick road. It's none of your business where I live and what I do. You're trying to force me into something I don't want to do. And I said no, didn't I? I've said no for 10 years. You have me and 40 cops kicking your ass off me. You're a burden. You're an imposition. You're a criminal. Nobody has caught your crime more than we have. Nobody, sir, has caught your crime more than we have. Please write it down because I'm tired of repeating myself. Nobody has caught your crime more than we have. Remember who it is you're talking to and about. You seem to not be getting it. Are you not all there? Is my shrink right that maybe you're mentally retarded? You have attorneys. Surely they're not. We're all tired of repeating the same thing. And when you try to talk to me, listen, I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. You're just that crazy man ranting, just like the TikTok stalker. You're no different. You are no different at all. This is my background. This was my family right here. This is my background, Mr. Perry. Long before I met you. Long before I met you. So that's my granddad. That's a whole wall at Roswell Police Department. This is where I grew up. This was my granddad. He's the chief. There's the front of the police station with his name on the front door. Right here. LM Hall. It's still there to this day. So is this wall right here. So this was my granddad's brochure. He thought power was in service. Look what he says. The treasurer's office under my administration has always operated on an open to the public basis. All too often, government seems to forget that its job is to serve. We enjoy having our bosses, the taxpayers, and voters in our office. Power is in service, not being Hitler. Hitler lost at the end of that, remember? Look where my granddad's name is to this day. Does it look like he lost? I don't think so. He also had a endorsement by Colin McMillan, who served in the Bush administration temporarily. He unfortunately committed suicide because he was dying of cancer and he was in a lot of pain and he couldn't stand the pain anymore. And that was unfortunate because he was a good man. That's power, Mr. Perry. You wouldn't know it if it slapped you upside the head because every time I repeat what you just said, that's power slapping you upside the head. You want to know who told? This is Little John. Tristan's dad. That's my son Tristan. His dad is best friends with Little John. They all went bowling one day. When you live in Vegas, also you run into famous people. This is my life before I met you, Mr. Perry. You're a pathetic nobody to me. I mean, you still don't even know who all I know. These are 2011. Remember my false arrest, alleged political vendetta. I made a false police report out of a political vendetta. All this is about stalking, and this was years before. I could have anticipated he'd go into court and lie. So if you lie in court, you'll lie to anybody, anywhere. You didn't just lie once, you've lied 2 and 3 and 4 times. Right? All right? So, I mean, people are not stupid. Anybody can look at these and read through every word I said. None of this is about your job as a legislator. We think that you're slow and not clear on what your legislative duties are. I shouldn't have to repeat myself, right? It's unfortunate that I have to continually say the same damn thing over and over, Mr. Perry. You ought to get it the first time. Okay, so then there's also this deal with office. Oh, this was my car. We're going to have her car towed and sold before she figures out it's not legal. That was in 2019, and they've recorded you talking about taking my car every day since. Every day since. This was Oklahoma law enforcement complaining about you harassing them. He says they're trying to get her on harassment. Well, they're calling us all the time. She never calls. We know they're messing with her car. They've had us pull her over to get information on her car. So it looks to us, it didn't take too long. We could figure out the harassment was the other way around. She did move twice to get away. They're going where she is. Yep. Mr. Perry, where I live is none of your business. You are not invited to my life in Oklahoma. You promised not to contact me anymore. To have nothing more to do with me. That's what this is. You broke your promise. That's your problem. You need the lie. I do not need a lie. You do. So, again, please just leave me the hell alone. This is more police recordings of you, Mr. Perry. The power team I work with, man. You wouldn't know power if it slapped you upside the head. You're this guy. Listen to this guy just ranting like some kind of crazy nut. I mean, he's just like won't shut up. And Perry does the same thing to me. Every day, all day long. I'll be trying to type something up. He starts typing over my typing. He does it a little different. Or he sends guys like Pinto or Mickey James or Terry Wagner. And David Robertson. And they... Hang on.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
Sorry for the ad. But listen to this guy. This guy is crazy ranting at her. She's all she's saying is leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Crazy ranting at her. Nothing he says makes any sense. Let me just talk to you for 2 minutes. Nope. Leave me alone. Instead of respecting the rights and wishes of other people, he's acting like an antisocial disordered freak and just ranting crazy crap. And then he starts telling her what he thinks of her clothes. What? You want to butt in about something she's doing in her life that doesn't concern you? Because I don't think she asked you about what you think of her clothes. Nor did I ask you what you think of where I live. What I said is leave me alone. It's none of your business where I live, where I work, what I do. Fuck off. It's not your business. You're stalking me, and that's a crime. You're the one that needs the lie, not me. You're the one that's going to kill me. If you can get close enough, you'll kill me. We all know that. It'll be an allergic reaction. It'll be something. Heart attack. Something. You'll make some crap up that's not true. Duly, I've noted it for the record more than once. You think I'm going to go somewhere with you? You're off your nut. You get close to me, I'll kick your balls into your attorney's head. And I kid you not. You won't walk for weeks. You're not getting close to me. I'm not going to wait to see if you've got a syringe on you. My guys are like, we're not worried about a gun. We're worried about a syringe. Don't wait to see if he's got something on him that'll kill you, or a handkerchief with, chloroform or something to subdue you, or a taser. Kick his ass. Hold him down and call the cops. Don't let him get close to you. Charles, did you think that I don't agree with my guys that have been protecting me from you all these years? Yeah, you're nuts. Okay, this is you. You do this. Your crazy rants don't make any sense.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
Yep, that's you. Crazy ranting all day long. You forget who you're talking to, Mr. Perry. Don't call around up here and say we want to try to get her to go to Houston and we'll do this for her and we'll do that. Fuck you. You will not. You'll kill me. You'll kill me dead. And you guys that I don't even know, fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of my life. I don't know you. You're not going to make decisions for me. I'm a grown-ass woman. I make decisions for me. I have 40 people, 40 cops, catching you guys in your crime for the first time in your lives like nobody else has ever done. You really think we're going to consult with you? You think we give a shit what you think or what your plans are? You guys are on you Planet Weirdo all the time, and Planet Stupid. I hate. Listen, I don't like people that are stupid and have to say the same thing again and again, and they still don't get it. I hate that. I really. I mean, this is your problem. You got erotomania, delusional erotomania. You sit around bullshitting yourself all day, making a fool of yourself. I mean, golly. So the thing with Officer Nealey, I said he was drugged. You did the same thing to him you did to me. He also did not get to preserve his evidence because they gave him Narcan before he was tested. He was tested at the hospital after Narcan. He was already he was unconscious. He was drugged, unconscious. Couldn't tell him who his name was. And I said that to the Florida State's Attorney on the March 2nd. Depositions weren't taken until May. Look at the date on that. May. Yep, we gave him Narcan because he was found unconscious. He was drugged with opioids. How did I know that? See, I know that. And you think that you're going to get me to, go, oh, okay, sure, I'll take your bribe and lie. You remember who it is you're talking to. Remember who the fuck it is you're talking to. I'm doing what you've not seen anybody else do in your life. Am I not? No one else has done what I've done. Remember who it is you're talking to. Charles, one time I say it and that's it. That's it. Dumbass, if you require more than that, it's not my problem. It's absolutely not my problem. I can't fix your stupid. I can't help you with your slow problem. Your attorneys need to do that. I don't. Yeah, y'all wouldn't let me testify. You had 3 possible reactions. If you had nothing to do with that murder, and I make such an accusation due to the timing of the murder, then you can do one of 3 things. 1, you can just be dismissive and do nothing. 2, you can come out and say, she has some valid points. I can see why she's concerned. We had nothing to do with it, but I'll tell you what, we're going to find out who did. Because she's right, Officer Nealey had not a mark on him. Not what a guy looks like who's just beat a guy to death. Even the arrest report said, only thing on him, injury-wise, was a red swollen right hand. But look, he's got an IV right there. Might that be why it's red and swollen? He's got a needle in it. Fucking Detective Fife. I don't have patience for that either. So, could that be it, maybe? Otherwise, you're not going to be in a fight like that where you beat someone to death and look like Mr. Officer Nealey looks. So I'm making these accusations going, something's not adding up here. My guys start digging. We find out you drugged him. How do you think I knew that? Nobody asked me that, by the way. Nobody said, how do you know? How do you know? When I'm deposed by the Florida State's Attorney, who did ask me if I'm a cop, did not bother to ask me. Twice, blew right over it. Woefully inadequate depo, I've heard. Never said, how did you know? How'd you get that information? Never said it. So, we've got, nope, that's not the right one. We've got, what a guy looks like when he's been in a fight. Oh, and then there's this. How'd you know Mike had to be begged to go? Oh, you mean you premeditated murder and you needed him in Pensacola? And so you coaxed him over there like you're trying to coax me to Houston, Texas? And you just want to know if I know which one of you 5 did it? Did the coaxing? Is that what this question's about? Which of your other victims are talking? Is that what the second question's about? Yeah, I think so. And I was like, oh, no habla English. So, because I'm like, nobody owes you any answers. Here's the arrest report right here. The very last thing on it. He was pulled off of him. I noticed Nealey's right hand to be red and swollen. Nothing else. And his lip was injured from an unrelated incident. A separate incident. After the whole thing is over, Hotel John staff comes in and pulls Officer Nealey off of Lucky Miller, who's deceased, throws him face first into the floor. Who the fuck does that? So, anybody can read that. It's on the docket. How did I know? Nobody asked me how I knew Officer Nealey, look at this. Look at my kid. That's what a guy looks like who was in a fight. So, I don't know. Again, who do you think you're fooling? I would like the list of names of people you think you're fooling, first of all. Second of all, I said no to you, Mr. Perry. There is nothing there. Your imaginary romance is evidence of delusional erotomania. You're a whack job. You're officially a whack job. This article, anybody can read it. Anybody can take a look at it. You've imagined something romantic in your head about me that it's not in my head. I don't have those kind of thoughts about you. You make my stomach turn. Just like that TikTok guy. Your crazy rants. Oh, I think you ought to do this. I think you ought to do that. He's typing in my phone the other day. I need your resume. What? Wow, you're not listening. Because I've been refusing you and rejecting you. You act like you think we're a couple. You're stalking me. You're a peeping Tom. That's a crime. You're a hacker. That's a crime. You act like you think that's a date or some kind of romance. It's not. It's just crime. You're just a criminal. You're just a low-life scumbag criminal. There's no woman sitting with you. There's no reciprocation. There's no romantic conversation between you and I. There's you making weird things like typing weird things like that in my phone, give me your resume, and me screaming at you like she did. Leave me alone. Get out of my life. Leave me alone. Shut up and go away. Nobody asked you what you think. Nobody asked you what you want. Nobody asked you. You were not asked. Shut up and get out. You're a burden and an imposition, and you're asking me who's helping you. Is it Canada? Call Canada. Ask them. Ask them Canada if it's Canada, and tell them to stop stopping your crime. You need to fucking remember who it is you're talking to. I said no. I said no. I said get out of my life. Mind your own business. You're a butt-in. You're always going to be a butt-in wannabe. You'll never be the wanted one. Never. David, if you're the one, whichever one of you is saying she'll never see Fabian, she'll never get Michael Nealey out of jail, and she'll never get her inheritance money from her mom and dad. Like I said, please do not say that behind my back. What you need to do is have your attorney schedule a meeting, and you say it to my face, like a man. Say it to my fucking face. And please remember who it is you're talking to, because all this stuff you guys did that's illegal, this criminal shit, nobody knew anything about it until you started doing it to me. Then everything changed. Once and for all, everything changed. Now, Charles has typed in my phone also that he thinks Al at TPD is a leak. Well, first of all, I don't know who the fuck that is. Second of all, what that typically means, Al, if you're listening, is that you said something that made sense, and so now he thinks you're a leak. So my guess is there's been some arguments going back and forth, and he thinks you're leaking something. And if I were you, there's two things. One is that I have come out for my belief that they killed Lucky and framed Mike, tried to kill Mike. That's going to make it harder for them to do anything at all to a cop again. You're welcome. By the way, and you need to give my granddad, a 3-finger salute. We love you, because my granddad's values instilled in me made me do that. You don't see anybody else stepping up like I've stepped up, do you? Nope. So it's gonna what that's gonna do, Al, if you're a cop, is that's gonna make Charles have a much harder time doing something to you, because he did it before, and it's gonna be really hard to explain if it happens again. But if I were you, I would take precautions, because if he's asking me that, I'm now concerned about you for your safety. Otherwise, I wouldn't say this, but I'm going to put it out there to protect you, because we're not going to lose another cop. So, Mr. Perry, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Chadwick, and whoever the other fuckers you are that helped these guys, duly noted, please write it down that I'm saying that Mr. Perry's telling me that he thinks Al at TPD is a leak. I have no idea who Al is, but I'm going to tell you this. I haven't talked to this Al person. I don't know who the hell he is. I'm not told who leaks are, but why don't you stop doing things that you would worry about being leaked? And Charles, you're so whack job that I'm going to say it again. If somebody says something to you that actually makes sense, you think they're a leak. You also asked me about Jim. I know about 5 Jims. I'm guessing that's David Robertson's attorney. That doesn't mean Jim's helping me or helping our guys. What that typically means is Jim said something to you that made sense. And since you're a whack job, it didn't fit in your head. Nothing that makes sense fits in your head. So there's that. Jim and Al, watch your back. They think you're a leak. Now, the other thing to that is, like I said, because they just got caught on this, with all the suspicion with Lucky and Mike, going back to the 3 things they could have done in response to my accusations was, number 1, nothing. Let's just be dismissive and do nothing. Number 2, let's go, well, it does look off. Things are off. But we didn't do it, so let's have a press conference and let's demand they find out who did. Clearly, Mike wasn't even in a fight. So let's find out who did this to them. Because it wasn't us. So let's prove our innocence by finding out who really did it. They didn't do that either. The third option is attack the witness that knows you did do it. Now that you've killed a cop, Mr. Perry and Mr. Robertson, we believe, and please understand, allegedly, use the but-for standard, applies here. I wouldn't have to, if there's not, I'm establishing mens rea. Your mens rea. You intend to commit a crime. Your intent is to commit a crime. Because I've told you I don't want anything to do with you. You're continuing to force and coerce and entice and threaten. Those are Title 18 violations. So I'm establishing that you've been caught planning that. Okay? You got a lot of wiretaps on you, Charles. So a lot of times, all you guys, you might be talking to this Al person, and he's got nothing to do with leaking anything, but you got a wiretap on you, so they heard it that way. It's not his fault. That's your fault. Okay, so then you had all 3 of those options, and you took the third, which implicates you. And you can't get that because we've said it over and over and over and over. The more you attack the witness that has a little information onto what you're doing, the more guilty you look. Sometimes the smart people just do nothing. Go about your business. Go mind your own business. Let's not dig our hole deeper. Let's be smart enough to realize we are in a hole, and maybe we ought to stop digging. I don't know. I'm not dealing with the brightest bulbs. I said no to Houston. I said no to anything Texas. I said no to you. You have me and 40 guys kicking you off me. That means we don't want you around. I don't like you. I don't like you. I would just as soon spit in your eye as look at you. And I'm not kidding you. You come anywhere near me, Al, if you're with TPD, whoever that is, I've been told he may have chloroform on him. He may have a taser. He may have something to subdue me. I am not to wait and see. I'm to kick his ass and call you. And you come get him. My guys are in a place where they can't just pop up it's a need to know. It's a need to know. So, it's a bigger case. It might include some of these guys in Houston. Listen, Charles, there's nothing romantic about peeping and hacking criminal activity. There's not romantic about that at all. Everyone's pretty certain it's not about a romance for you. It's about a cover-up. You desperately need a lie. You're desperate for a lie. And I'm the bug that got away. Because you're just a sad little maniac with nothing to define you but your sad little crimes. Like an exterminator, and women are bugs, and I'm the bug that got away in your head. Because that of course, is ridiculous. But in your head, that's what that is. We're objects for you to use. Well, I'm not doing what everyone else has done, am I? I'm fighting your crime like a motherfucker. And I'm quoting what you just said. Pretty much every day, are I not? You need to realize who it is you're talking to, Mr. Perry. You're not getting my resume. My resume doesn't concern you. Mind your own business. What does Jackie and your kids think you're doing right now when you're bothering me? What lie did you tell them? What about the people in Lubbock that you serve as a senator? You need to sit down with somebody and have them explain to you what your legislative duties are, because you seem confused about that. Now, this Al person, listen, if you feel like you're in danger or something and you need my help, please feel free to come talk to me. Y'all all know where I am. You want me to help you? I'll help you. But I'm going to tell you this. Smart people learn from their mistakes. Smarter people learn from everybody else's mistakes. Look what Lucky did. He was going to make an arrest. But before that, there was some arguing, going back and forth that shouldn't have been going back and forth. Don't argue with somebody who's not all there. If you can make an arrest, make a fucking arrest. Then you don't have to worry about it anymore, do you? If you feel like, I mean, you guys, anybody could look at this and look at my work product. I can't do this by myself. There's no damn way I could do this by myself, is there? If you know how I could do this by myself, please feel free to fill me in. Because I'm telling you, there's no way. Now, this here, Mr. Perry, is an entire blog with every time we've caught you. I mean, this goes way back. This is one. This is one blog. This thing goes back to like 2017 or 2016, 17, I think. I mean, it just goes and goes and goes and goes. Years and years and years, it'll go back. So you need to, read all this. Every time we've caught you is on here. Every time we've caught you is on here, pretty much. Or on that Facebook page. Read it. And then, remember who it is you're talking to. Because that's never happened to you before. And it's happening now. And it's happening every day. So, don't sit there and act like you think I care what you think. I really don't. We're out thinking you in our sleep. So, believe me, I don't give a fuck what you think. Didn't ask you. You don't need my resume. You need to fuck off. I don't want you in my life. I didn't invite you here. I moved twice to get away from you. Did not invite you into my life in Oklahoma. Stalking is a crime. You're forcing yourself on me against my will, and it is pissing me off. Al, don't argue with these people. Arrest them. If you need my help, come get me. You know where I am. In the meantime, watch your back. And you too, Jim. I'm getting asked if you two are leaks. If it's Jim, Mago or McGew, watch your back, Jim. Y'all two said something that made sense. Charles, that doesn't mean they're a leak. That means they said something that made sense and you didn't like it. Because you don't understand that kind of language, do you? Things that make sense. Go be normal. Go work. And stop bothering me. Leave me alone. Every time you talk, it's no different than that crazy man. The TikTok stalker? You're him in my head. Just some crazy man ranting and ranting and ranting. And I'm like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Did not ask you. I did not ask you what you think. I didn't ask you. I'm not going to Texas. Fuck off.